Hey, what is up? Welcome to this episode of the Entrepreneur to Entrepreneur podcast. As always, I'm your host, Brian Lofermento. And if you've ever looked at the landscape of your industry and felt like, how can I compete with bigger companies? How can I compete with those giants of my industry that are enterprise level? Well, then you're going to love today's episode and you're absolutely going to love today's guest because this is a giant killer. This is someone who makes an equalized playing table when it comes to your marketing, when it comes to your advertising, when it comes to utilizing technology and metrics and analytics alongside your marketing to really reach your customers. I love today's guest's work, so let me introduce you to him. His name is Constantin Cornita. Constantin comes from the Republic of Moldova, which is an awesome, under-the-radar IT hub packed with young talent right in the heart of Europe. Even though marketing was his true interest, Constantin earned his degrees in IT. He made that choice because he didn't identify with a traditional marketing persona. He felt distance from the reliance on superficial charm and jargon. In Google Ads, he found the sweet spot. It allowed him to bring his technical background into the marketing world, bypassing the noise to focus on what he does best, building systems that work. 8 years ago, he started doing Google Ads and later joined as an expert for Easy Tool Hire, which is a pioneer in introducing e-commerce to the equipment rental industry. Entering as an expert, he worked closely with leadership, advancing to marketing lead. He's managed strategies across the UK, Spain, and Italy. He learned that the rental looks different in every single market. So now Constantin brings that technical background and deep understanding of user behavior to the US market with active sales. He bridges that gap between ad data and rental business reality, building systems designed to do one thing: get equipment out of the yard. We are going to have so much fun learning from him today, so I'm not going to say anything else. Let's dive straight into my interview with Constantin Cornita. All right, Constantin, I am so very excited that you're here with us today. First things first, welcome to the show.
Hi, Brian. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about all the ways that all of us small business owners can compete with the big guys. And I know you have such an interesting set of skills and experiences to help us do exactly that. But Constantin, before we talk ads, before we talk marketing, before we talk technical, take us beyond the bio. Who's Constantin? How did you start doing all these cool things?
Well, the short answer is, like I want to say, is I'm an engineer who does marketing. I'm speaking to you from Moldova, which is an IT hub in Eastern Europe. And after my bachelor degree, I was 50-50 if I'm going to choose marketing or IT. But I chose marketing, IT, because I didn't like the creative part of the marketing, all the fluff, the vanity metrics in marketing. And while in college, I discovered Google Ads. And it was the perfect match for myself because technically Google Ads is theoretically it's marketing, but you have to be very good at the technical part if you want to succeed in Google Ads, because there is a lot of data there that you have to analyze. And in Google Ads, it's everything about speed. You change something and you see the result the next day. That's why I chose Google Ads. After my bachelor degree, after my college.
Constantin, when you say Google Ads represents speed, I know because we hear from a lot of listeners that a lot of people think Google Ads equals expensive and they think that it's dominated by just the big players. Something I really appreciate about your approach is the fact that you've seen it be the leveling of the playing field. You've seen Google Ads be that arena where small business owners, smaller businesses can compete with multi-billion-dollar ad budgets. Obviously, there's geo-targeting. There's so many different tools that you have in your toolkit. But what's your response to people who feel like they're priced out of Google Ads?
You can say it's expensive when you don't do it right. If you do it right, the revenue that comes from Google Ads is there and it's not expensive anymore. So if you spend $1,000 on Google Ads, let's say, and it generates you double, triple, 5 times that amount of money, it's not expensive anymore. If you will spend even $100 and it generates you nothing for you, then it's expensive. So you have to know the right settings, how to configure Google Ads in order to bring you value. And we at Active Sales, we want to bring value to the companies. We don't want to do Google Ads for them and just that. We want to bring them value. So we always put the value first, the revenue first. We don't focus just on generating leads from them or rentals. We wanna focus on generating rentals from them, not just the leads.
Yeah, I appreciate that approach, especially because a lot of people often ask when it comes to advertising campaigns, what are those metrics that I should be paying attention to? And sometimes, Constantin, I've been an entrepreneur for 17 years now, and sometimes I've seen advertising agencies that they'll brag about other metrics of, look how low our cost per 1,000 impressions is, look how low our cost per click is. And of course, as a business owner, cool, it's fun to see that, but that doesn't impact our income statements. So I really appreciate your emphasis on revenue. At the same time, though, I know that a lot of people think that means they can be impatient, that I just launch an ad and all of a sudden I start getting paying customers. What does that timeline look like? What's the life cycle of someone who clicks a Google ad and then becomes a customer of ours?
When I talked about speed, it's actually kind of instant, because in the rental industry, if someone needs a boom lift, for example, they will search on Google, they will find you, and they will click on your ad. If you have that piece of equipment, if you have your phone number displayed, they will just call you, and if you have it available, you will deliver that piece of equipment. It's instant. When it comes like channel that brings that lead to you, of course you can do different marketing channels to nurture the user on early stages, but Google Ads is the last stage pre-buying. The buying intent in Google Ads is the highest.
Yeah, and I'm so appreciative this early on in our conversation that you're talking about buying intent, because I feel like a lot of people who have maybe played with Facebook ads, for example, they're just targeting people based on interest. They're not targeting people who are actively searching on Google, for example, to look for those things that they're looking for. But the other part of your approach, and I kind of teased it, I intentionally injected it into your bio at the top of today's episode, is how varied of a mix you've seen culturally when it comes to converting customers. And I love this observation about UK users, for example, are comfortable booking online. Italian clients prefer to pick up the phone. The Spanish market, maybe more of a 50-50 mix. Constantin, how do we treat those customers in the right manner? Is this especially a cultural thing? Is it something that we can inject and experiment with in our ad campaigns? I'd love to hear about that back-end approach to follow-ups.
When I mentioned easy to hire, with Easy to Hire, we actually were present in 4 European countries: Italy, Spain, Portugal, and the UK. And the idea of Easy to Hire was bringing e-commerce to the rental industry. So you could place an order for an excavator for tomorrow at 10 a.m. and having it there tomorrow at 10 a.m. without any other calls. Just place an order online and you have there. And we were testing this idea in those 4 countries with Google Ads as well. And yeah, as you mentioned, the Italian people were not used to do this. They wanted to call you. If you don't display the phone number up there, they will not like your landing page, for example, because they want to see your phone number, they want to call you. And then they also they don't place the order directly on that first phone call. They want to get a quote from you, they want to compare that quote with your competitors, and so on. So there's a delay there. Spanish people was 50-50, yeah. And the UK market responded well to this approach. They were fine of placing an online order and expect to get it delivered. What surprised me about the US market, American people call you and they book that piece of equipment right on that first call. if your front desk works fine and you have the right people there, American people are open to close that deal to have the equipment booked right on the first call.
Yeah, I can anecdotally tell you that Amazon has certainly spoiled me. I expect so much speed. When I want something, Constantine, I want it right now. So it doesn't surprise me, those observations about the American market. You brought up a landing page, and I feel like all too often when people want to talk about ad campaigns, they talk about the headlines, they talk about the copy, they talk about the targeting, they talk about so many different things, but they forget to talk about what to actually do with those clicks. Talk to us about what should be on a landing page, because you have a lot of experience, especially when it comes to those industries that have much bigger players. So what do we have to make sure is on our landing pages within campaigns?
For local companies, for local rental companies, you have to have your phone number displayed there, and it has to be trackable. I'm going to go a little bit to other topic. It's related about landing page and what you should have there. When we speak about the big guys and their budgets, they have unlimited budget, but they have that budget for the entire country, for example. And they cannot go as local as a local company can go. And what's the difference between the local companies and the big guys, and how we approach the local companies to win in the local auctions? Because Google Ads is an auction where you bid against your competitors. It's by being very local. You have to be local in your landing page, local with your keywords, local with your ad copy. So when most of my clients ask me how they will beat the big guys with their big budgets, it's all because people think that on Google you have to pay. The one that pays the more, that one will rank higher and will appear higher on the search result, and just the ones with big budgets will succeed in Google Ads. The truth is that in Google Ads you don't appear in the first position based on the amount you pay, but it's based on the ad rank, and the ad rank here is composed by the amount of money you pay, of course, but also based on the quality score of your keywords. And the quality score is very important here. So if we manage to improve that quality score of a keyword, we can succeed and we can pay less to appear on a higher position. And that quality score here is composed on expected CTR, landing page experience, and ad relevance. So here we can beat the big guys because they cannot go so local as we can go. They cannot say excavator rental in Marietta, for example, because they will have to list all the cities in the US in their Google Ads account, and that's very difficult for them to do. But we, with local accounts, we can do that, and we can be as specific as needed. And if a contractor searches for an excavator in Marietta, as I mentioned, we can display an ad saying excavator rentals in Marietta, which is super local for him. So he will click on that ad, and then he will go to your landing page, and in your landing page he will see excavator rental in Marietta. And here I arrived at what you should have in your landing page. You should have your equipment, the one that the user searches for. You should have your location. If it's local, it's better for the user. And then the phone number so he can call you. On the big guys' websites, if you will go to their website, there you will have to put your postal code, your zip code, to find the price for your region, for example. If you are a small rental company, a local one, you can go local with your landing pages, and that's super cool because with that we can beat the big guys.
Yeah, it's really cool to hear. And Constantine, as someone who loves both the tech side of it and the marketing side of it, I feel like it's probably a ton of fun for you to create these localized campaigns that are able to win. But you brought up a huge topic that I'm excited to put you on the spot for, because I'm sure you could do an entire day masterclass on keywords and keyword strategy, because Constantine, let's face it, that's a very big and important part of a Google ad campaign. And it's something that if people have advertised on Facebook before, it's very different when it comes to a keyword strategy via Google ads. Talk to us about keyword strategy. How do we even start to know what to put down in these campaigns?
There are a lot of tools that allows you to find those keywords, to find the keywords that people search for in your area. But first of all, we have to go to the client and see what the client wants to advertise for. What's the client's best performing product? In the rental industry, you could go and bid for equipment rental, broader terms, but that will be more expensive. Not more expensive as a keyword, but more expensive as your competitors, because you will compete with more people for that keyword. But if you go more specific with the excavator rental near me, excavator rental in Marietta, excavator rental in Norcross, you will go super local with very specific product specific keywords. There you can win the competitors, and there you can make the difference.
Yeah, I'm going to, just for the listeners who are tuning in and want to go to a little bit of a geekier depth here with regards to keyword strategy. Constantine, just at a high level, can you explain to us the difference between a broad match, an exact match, a phrase match? And I also want to throw negative keywords into this, because I know you've got a ton of experience with all these, and a lot of listeners might be thinking, well, hold on, what are negative keywords? How do all of those different keyword strategies play into it?
Okay, so in Google Ads, there is search term and keyword. So the search term is what the user searches on the search engine, on Google search, and the keyword is the part that has to match to that search term. And here there are three match types, which is exact, phrase, and broad, as you mentioned. And when you have a keyword as exact, the search term that the user searched have to match exactly to your keyword. So if your keyword is excavator rental near me, the user has to search excavator rental near me in order to your ad to appear. If the user will search equipment rental near me, your ad will not appear because it doesn't match exactly. The phrase match, what does is you can have a keyword like excavator rental as a phrase, and if someone searches for excavator rental in Marietta, you will appear because your keyword is contained as part of that phrase, of that search term that the user used to. And the broad match is the broader one. Actually, there you can see a lot of non-relevant search terms, because Google sometimes tends to be very broad. For example, you have the keyword excavator rental near me. Someone searches for equipment rental, your ad will appear there, can appear there, because Google thinks that equipment rental can match excavator rental near me as a broad term. And the negative keyword is the part that you block. You put that negative keyword into your account, into your campaigns, and you will not appear for that term. For example, in the rental industry, the event rental, it's kind of close, and someone can search for equipment rental for parties, which is a different industry. It's not the excavator or boom lift. They are not looking for that. And then you have to block party. If someone searches for something related to party, you will not appear there anymore. Events and so on. So that's how it works on Google Ads.
Yeah, I appreciate that overview, especially because, like I said to listeners, if this is listeners' first example of diving into all these different intricacies of a successful keyword strategy, Constantin could talk about this literally for full days on end. So this is an exact art and science right within there. But Constantin, fortunately, I started my first business in 2008, and so the ad industry has changed a lot since then. The biggest change, of course, is the fact that AI is there to help us now, and we can all generate even more content ideas. You already talked about how many tools are out there these days to help us even start to put pen to paper when it comes to keyword strategy. How's AI factoring into all of this? And one other curiosity that I want to add into the AI mix is I'm curious on the ad delivery side, on the Google side, on the Bing side, how much, if at all, has AI enhanced their ability to find the right people at the right time? How's AI factoring into this entire ecosystem?
The AI, it depends on the perspective, how you look at it. For us as an agency, the AI LLMs, Google Gemini or ChatGPT helps us to create the ad copy and stuff like that. It helps for us. It's a help for us. But when it comes to Google Ads and the AI inside Google Ads, there are a lot of bidding strategies that improved with AI. And now we are not focused just on appearing on Google. Google Ads switched from ranking on first position. If you are on first position, you are winning. You have to appear in front of the right user at the right time. So that's more important than just appearing on the first position for a non-relevant user. Even if that user is searching for a keyword that you have in your account, Google knows if that user has the intent of buying or not. So now we can set our ads to focus on users that are willing to buy from you, to rent from you in this case. But for that, we need a lot of data. We have to have conversion data fed into the account. So we have to track that data. We have to track what a user does on your website, if that user calls you or not. So before starting doing Google Ads with any client, we have to make sure that we can track all the important actions on the client's website, and if we can track all the phone calls for that client. If you run Google Ads and you don't track your conversions, you're running ads blindly, which is completely off, because then you have to focus on traffic. And we see a lot of agencies focusing on traffic. And when you see those reports that they reported that last month we generated you 2,000 clicks, what? You're a rental company. You don't sell clicks. Google sells clicks. You rent that equipment, so you have to make sure that you focus on the right people that will rent from you. So tracking is very important here, because we have to give that information to Google, and Google with all the AI will analyze that data and then will show our ads just to the right people. How we track that? We need a client to have some phone tracking tools in order to track all the calls. And here also it's something else that I like to do with my clients appears is that we want to listen to those calls. As I said, we are focused on revenue for the clients, not just on generating those leads. At the end of the month, we can say that, yes, we generated for you 300 calls, but the client can be unhappy because those calls might be of a lower quality, for example. His front desk can do a poor job. We actually see that in lots of companies, the front desk just don't pick up the phone. We see companies where the missing rate of the phone calls is like 30%. So you are missing 30% of potential revenue. And we like to listen to those phone calls, and we like to give feedback to our clients. For example, like we have the recordings, we send it to the client and say, just listen to this phone call. Your rep did a poor job on selling this for you, so you have to pay attention on that and that. And that's how we improve the conversion rate from calls to actual revenue for those for our clients. The clients are happier, so they continue with us, and we are happy as well. And we also use AI for the clients, exactly for the call tracking. There are tools that allows the clients to record all those calls and analyze them with AI. And then the AI gives you a note, score for each call that your front desk did. So at the end of the week, you don't have to listen to all those calls, but the AI does it for you and makes a summary for you, so you know on what to focus. And also the AI provides you feedback instantly for your front desk. So AI is helping a lot the industry, and the ones that are rejecting AI, they are losing it.
Yeah, so well said. Constantin, hearing the depth at which you go with your clients, not just on the front end with the actual ad campaigns, but the back end of turning that ad campaign into dollars, it's no surprise to me why you have so many incredible numbers that you can talk about with regards to clients that you've served. And that's why I know that this quarter, especially here in 2026, it's going to be a very exciting year across the board for all of us, I think for business in general, but especially with what you guys are doing with your US launch. And I know that you've got a very happy client that you all are appearing at an event or a show with in late February into early March. So Constantin, for listeners who are hearing all of this and saying, what exactly is possible in a short amount of time? I'd love for you, I'm going to put you on the spot to brag a little bit. Talk to us about that partnership and that incredible client that you have, where you've already shown the proof is in the pudding. This isn't theory that we're talking about. You have real life metrics and results that you can lean on. So you've got a full blueprint. We're going to drop that link in just a few minutes. You also have an amazing white paper coming out. But Constantin, talk to us about that exciting launch into the US market and some really impressive numbers that you get to share as part of that.
Exactly. So one of our clients in the US, it's Josh Nickel with Northside Tool Rental. We started working with them in September, and just in the first 2 months, we generated them 33% more orders through the website, while spending less on Google Ads because they were doing Google Ads previously. So our return on our ad spend increased by 76% just in the first 2 months. And actually, Josh was very impressed with those numbers. So he said that those numbers are really good, and the industry has to know about it. So he is helping us a lot by recommending us to other people in the industry. And at the ARA show, he will be there, and if you meet him, he can explain more about our work together. And also we will launch with him a full white paper closer to the ARA show, showing how are we doing, what are we doing, and the best practices for Google Ads for the rental industry.
Yeah, and listeners, you already know I'm going to have Constantin drop those links on us in just a few minutes. But before we do that, Constantin, I've got to put you on the spot one more time. It's the question I ask at the end of every episode, and that is, what's your best piece of advice for listeners? Knowing that we're being listened to by both wantrepreneurs and entrepreneurs at all different stages of their growth journeys, and knowing that not only are you incredible when it comes to ads, but you're also one of us. You're also a fellow entrepreneur. What's that one thing that you want to leave them with today?
Speaking about Google Ads, if you are doing Google Ads, go to your reports and see what the agency that does Google Ads for you is reporting on you. And if they report on clicks, impressions, and other vanity metrics, just stop working with them, because they have to report you on conversions, on things that really matters for you, on rentals, on the revenue. But the first thing that I would recommend to everybody in this business is call your front desk, call your company, pick up the phone, call them, pretend you are a customer, and see how they respond to you, if they respond to you, because it's really important, and you'll get a lot of insights from there, how the front desk is selling you your product, and that is completely free, and you can do it right now. So pick up the phone, call your company, and see how they will sell your product.
Yes, I love that piece of advice. And listeners, I'm going to share a little bit of a spoiler alert from behind the scenes, is that when our pre-production team came across Constantin's work, this was what he promised, is that when we invited him on the show, that he's not going to use industry jargon, he's not going to fluff it up at all, he's just going to tell you the stuff that matters. And it's so deeply embedded in the way that his company, Active Sales, exists, and the way that they operate, and the way that they sell. I saw a line from Constantin somewhere that said, if we're not meant to serve you and we don't think we can help you, we're not going to try to sell to you. And I so appreciate that response. So Constantin, you are so good at all the things that you do. And I love how much you emphasize the impact on revenue, the impact on real tangible business growth in a world where vanity metrics are a thing and they can be distracting. So for listeners who want to find your full blueprint, for them who want to follow along as you release that white paper on the 2026 rental marketing industry and all the things that you're doing there as far as driving results for your clients, drop those links on us. Where should listeners go from here?
You have our website, activesalesppc.com. There you can find all the information you need. You can go there, book a free audit with me, and we will speak for 1 hour, and we will see if we are a good match, if we can help you or not. As I mentioned, if we see that we cannot bring real value to a company, we just don't work with that company. And one other thing to say, we never do prepayments. We always get paid after the work we do, because we are pretty sure that we will deliver a good work, some good results. So the clients always will pay us afterwards. We don't do long contracts. We are month by month. So yes. Go on activesalesppc.com, book an audit with us, and let's see how we can help you.
I love that call to action, Constantin. Super easy link, activesalesppc.com. But listeners, you already know we're dropping that link down below in the show notes, no matter where it is that you're tuning into today's episode. We're also linking to Constantin's personal LinkedIn. So if you want to reach out to him personally and have him in your network and really continue the conversation, it's meant to be a two-way conversation. We don't talk into microphones just to hear ourselves talk. We actually want to hear from you. So listeners, don't be shy in checking out those links down below. Otherwise, Constantin, on behalf of myself and all the listeners worldwide, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Brian.